Talking about my book, The Square That Gave Me Birth. The last square was Jamal Fna in Marrakesh. Just finishing talking about Jamal Fna Square in Marrakesh, and it was exactly the time of the end of the hippies, because of lot of drugs. That's what finished the hippie period. A lot of people get killed. I've said that many times. So, two things I believe that the hippies left us. First, the joint. Is the hippies that discover to mix blonde tobacco, roll in a paper with hashish. Is the hippies that started. Now, the youth all around the world, they have this habit. Everywhere you go, Spain, France, Belgium, here, anywhere, most of the kids, they all smoke joints. It became very, very popular. And another thing also they left as the hippies is the homosexual. Because of the hippies, they did believe on sex freedom. So the hippies, they were in the communities all around the world hiding themselves, but they sort of tried their best to show themselves during the hippie period. That's what you see now in the most of the social media. A lot of queers, a lot of homosexuals really very proud of themselves, wearing women dress, and they feel a lot of freedom, etc., etc. Until some countries, they gave them freedom to get married to each other, etc., etc., and it became a big mess all around the world. Anyway, after I finished talking with Jamal Fna, I decided to go and leave the country to discover other squares. So I made myself a card of Youth Household Federation card, that I could sleep in these places all around the world. So I picked up my backpack, my stuff, then I went to Wijda. I stayed there for a couple of days just to find out about the nearest city in Algeria. So the first step was Algeria. And in those days, there was no visa. You can go anywhere around the world. There's no such thing as a visa like now. The majority of the countries, you had to have visa before you can go abroad. But in those days, I'm talking about late 60s, early 70s, 1961 and the beginning of 70s, exactly the time when I left Morocco. First time I decided to leave Morocco towards Algeria. So as I said, I stayed for a couple of days, 3 days in Wijda, and then I went to the border, Joujbral. Then I went to Tlemcen, to stay there for a couple of days, and then straight to Oran, which is the second largest city in Algeria. Trying to find myself how to survive in this city. I found it really very typical French. I get a lot of history from the Spanish before, and from the Ottoman Empire, and from the French, because they occupy Algeria for 132 years. It was a bloody long time. So really, I found the country really French in those days. The majority of the kids and people all around Oran, they all speak half Moroccan dialect and half French. Most speak French. So I found myself in a little area like Soko Chico and like Jamal Fna, small hotels in a place called Sidi El Hawari area. So I found out, how to stay cheap. Then I wanted to discover the square in town to see what's going to happen, to see if I can survive in this square like I did in Soko Chico and in Jamal Fna of Marrakesh. So I think I will leave it for today until the next video. Thank you ever so much. Bye.